Welcome back. Hey, hey. Welcome back. Hack. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, gang. Welcome back to a Pox Perspective. I hope you all have missed me. I have missed you. I know we've been on a little hiatus, but hopefully you've checked out the great things I've drawn. No, you didn't. It's okay. It was a bop, okay? A vibe, as Taeyang and Jimin would say. You should definitely go check it out because that's where I was at while I was on a hiatus from here. But we're back with the season 3, gang. Can you believe it? So, babes, for starters, how have you been? I missed you. I missed your face. I missed telling you embarrassing stories and saying things out the side of my neck. But if you've been watching Rambles and Makeup, you know that we just got things outside of our neck anyways. But yes, podcasts are back. The real Bible stories are up as well as, a Pox perspective. So, a few things that I do want to tell you about. I have started a new series on TikTok. You should go check it out. And as always, I have face paint content that I am doing. Y'all, I am getting so much better in my edits. Okay, just you watch. One day I'm gonna be a full cartoon character and you're not gonna even know what hit you. But I wanted you guys to check out a few of my looks, and yes, shameless promo that maybe you would want to go see it. My TikTok videos, sometimes they have audios from like the original creators. Yes, sometimes my own beats, but the original creators of like the other songs that I've made tune in and out. And for that reason, I can't post them on YouTube because copywriting is just a dollar sign, dollar sign. But my dears, yes, we are back here, dandelions. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys about is we have a new hidden black gem that I found. Her name is Misty Copeland, okay? Miss Misty Copeland was born on September 10th, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri. She is still alive. She is 41 years old of age to date. She is the first ever African American ballet dancer, which shout it out, hootie hoo, like that is so amazing. I love learning about things like that, especially like in areas where they kind of make it seem like the demographic for black people is lacking. It is just so nice and inspiring to see women out here like doing it and pushing the narrative. But yes, shout out to you, Miss Misty. You keep doing it. A few achievements. She got the 2008 Lenore Annaberry Fellowship Awards in the Arts. She was named the National Youth of the Year Ambassador for the Boys and Girls Club. She has a bestseller book, and Barack Obama even appointed her to the President's Council of Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. That's amazing. Like I am just sitting here stoked and like just happy about it. And so I wanted to also say happy birthday to all of my September babes. Since we are talking about people who were born in September, Miss Misty will be 42. Has the 10th already passed? That is what I want to know. The 10th has already passed. So Miss Misty is 41. So happy birthday to her and all of the September babes out there. Happy birthday. Speaking of birthdays, I'm 27. Happy birthday to me again. I turned 27 last month, and honestly, you guys, it has been crazy. Getting to 27, getting to here, and like seeing my life here, I never in a million years of planning in my mind, thought that I'd be here. Like this version of myself only simply existed in my dreams and my imaginations. So to, like be here and be feeling like this, it is just kind of incredible, which is the first thing we want to talk about. So sit in the corner with me. So I want to tell you guys, people are always watching. People are always watching. So I want to show you this clip that I posted via my birthday.
Imagine the day they see you again. And you are just, well, better.
So I posted this photo. I posted it on my TikTok and on my Instagram, on my reels. Now, for clarification purposes, I don't. So, I've said on the channel a lot that like I've been losing weight. I am down like 60, maybe even 70 pounds now. I haven't got back on the scale. It's a love-hate relationship thing, but I've lost a lot of weight since last year. Since last April I was over 310. I was close to 316. I might have been 316, like no, 316 pounds, baby. Work with me. Like I was up there. And people was on my Instagram when I came back home for Korea. They had a lot to say, but like while I've been doing content, I noticed that like people don't really give me the time of the day. They don't really give me feedback. And I mean, hey, maybe I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I am done trying to be for everybody in this life. But I will say, when I posted, and I had, I try to keep myself humble, especially before the Lord, because I just feel like, first of all, I don't want the Lord to be like, I trusted you with this and look at you out here acting like you acting. But in general, like for me, it is very hard to like attractive people when they keep throwing it in your face that they know that they're attractive. Not if they do it in a respectful way, I'm here for it. Humbleness is key, like grace and poise. But when you're just out and bam in my face and you're like cocky about it, it's like, please kill the mic. I don't want to be one of them people. I don't want to be that person. That is not what I desire at all. So I try not to really post myself as much unless it's like content, but like my body pictures and like before and afters, I don't really do that much, but I did for my birthday because it was my birthday and I felt like flexing. And honestly, I have not looked this good since I probably was in high school, okay? And so it felt really nice to post a video and be like, you see me? I did not know how many people was going to see me. And let me just say, this is going to tie into the second part of the story here, but I did not know that so many people from my past were watching me. And like, you always hear those sayings like people are watching you, or like somebody got their eye on you, y'all. Some people was liking my post that I didn't even know was even still around. I thought that they had like up and jump shipped, months ago. And like, even people who don't follow me, they were coming on my page tapping hearts. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of crazy to think that like people are always watching you. And I think too, it's crazy to think like all these people who kind of counted me out, and like all these people who were naysayers about me and even about my weight and even telling me like, well, have you thought about the surgery yet? And some of them who have, and you know what, honestly, let me just say, if you got the weight loss surgery, there is nothing wrong with that. Like, that is your choice. Don't ever let people make you feel bad about what you choose for your body. For me, I did not want to do the weight loss surgery. I am just very weird about doctors going in me and like, first of all, you're not about to put a lap band on me because what if it slip off? Or like, what if I twist the wrong way one day and like you slide down or slide up? That is terrifying to me. Like, it is petrifying. At the same time, I didn't want the bypass because what if you sniff the wrong things? Or like, what if my organs are like rearranged severely in my stomach now? And like, I just, doctors worry me. That's what I'm trying to say. Doctors worry me, all right? And like, I want to give birth hopefully the natural way. That I want to push it out, if you catch my drift. So I just didn't want to play with that, and honestly, I didn't want to start down for me. I'm just saying for me. So this is not a judgment to anybody else. I did not want the surgery because I know me. Potatoes, bread, ice cream. That's kind of my weakness. And I knew I never wanted to be limited on this diet where I couldn't have those things, or where, I had to change my eating habits completely. I never wanted to sacrifice that because I had sacrificed it for so long. And I remember, like, I used to do things like these green smoothie diets and, counting calories and Weight Watchers, miserable. And that stuff works for some people. Like I said, I don't want to downplay other people or like the tools that they've used to help them. It's just that it didn't work for me. And some people who kind of, I guess, like flaunted it a lot, that they got to do those options at me, it just kind of felt like a victory for them to see that I have actually squatted out these pounds. Okay, I've lifted the weights for these, all right, for the bat wings to go down. Like, I've done the hard work. And so, I guess I also want to encourage somebody to and say, like, if you believe that you can do it the natural way, then you should do it the natural way. It is not easy, and you don't always want to work out. Some days I'm like, I don't want to lift that. I do not want to do this Pilates squat. Donkey kicks are my nemesis. I do not like donkey kicks. Forget it. Donkey and planks. Planks, I don't like donkey kicks. They are up here. Planks are like right here. But donkey kicks, like, kick me out of existence, please. But I, like I said, I work out. Me and my two besties, we work out together. And my mom, she's so funny because, like, some days, she'll look how I'm feeling, and I'm like, listen, we need to get it together in here because we can't both be struggling. But she has this favorite song to listen to when she works out. And so whenever she puts it on, she will start dancing. And sometimes I like to surprise her with her favorite songs too, to, like, help motivate her. But honestly, like, and I know I've told them this countless of times, but I'm so incredibly grateful to my sugar cookie and to my sugar pie for, keeping me and helping me stay encouraged. And like, thank you, Jesus, for you even putting like two people in my life who have just been amazing at supporting me and like willing to work with me. And so, yeah, it's been incredible. And so I work out. I didn't do anything dramatic. Like, I don't eat as many sweets as I used to, but I can. Okay, don't. I will throw down on some food. And so I wanted to tell this story too because it was while I was taking a little hiatus break from here. But I went to go see my dad for a family reunion, which that was fun. That was amazing. Everything about that trip was just, I saw some family members. There are some Asians in my family. All right. I was like, shout out to the people because baby Rolling Stone. But anyways, I got to see my some family that I ain't ever seen before. It was so diverse. We had the blacks, we had the Hispanics, we had the Asians, we had the whites. We did. It was a whole collage of people that were all connected together by one man. Um and so it was nice to basically see my family and like see so much diversity. But the funny part was, okay, like I just said, I like to eat. And so, without telling too much of my business, whenever I like to be social, you know what I'm saying? Jack and Coke is my to go to. But you gotta feed it, right? And so I remember one part of this family reunion, I walked outside with like two big plates of food, and everybody was kind of like side eyeing me, like she's not about to do it. I tore it down. I tore it down. I ate everything off those plates. And y'all, I'm talking about I had some boudin balls that were like this big. And if you don't know what boudin balls are, you are missing out. I don't know if it's like a Texas thing, you know, because like our cousins from up north, they hadn't really heard of like boudins in general. Because one of my cousins, poor baby, she was like, "Can I have some of that?" It's like it has the meat wrapping and it has rice and meat on the inside of it. And I was like, rice and meat. But my dad knew what she was talking about. It was a boudin. But anyways, I had two big boudin balls, okay, which is the fried equivalent to that, but without the skin. And I had some salad, okay. I remember having like some macaroni on this plate, and I had some more meat. I think I had some like sausages and some dirty rice and a piece of like peach cobbler. Y'all, it was a lot of food, okay? And I was so hungry, y'all. I didn't even put the ranch on the salad. I was straight eating vegetables and it was delicious, okay? And everybody was kind of just like, and I was like, yes, okay, I know I look good and I know some things are sucked in, but no, we go to town over here. And like, even one of my cousins, when I was passing by, she was like, she thinks she look good. And I popped my head up because you said it. I didn't. But yes, I look damn good. And if I want to eat two plates of food, as many Pilates squats as I've squatted out, I deserve this. So I say that to say, live your best life, okay? Eat what you want to eat. If you are working out and you are taking control of your health and you are truly doing right by yourself, eat if you want to eat. If you're hungry, eat. Please, I will throw it back, okay? And then that night I went back for another plate of food and I had people looking at me like, "Are you about to eat all that?" Yes. Yes, Linda, I am. But I will say you can't afford to do that always, cuz if you do it always, then you're defeating the purpose of, working out. But I do work out. I drink like a gallon of water a day. And honestly, I try not to miss the gallon of water. Like I even drink it on the weekends cuz for one, like it helps me flush myself out. Like I really need the water. My lips are chapped if I don't drink it, like I just feel really bad if I don't hydrate. So please hydrate cuz hydrating is important and you need it. And like I say, I know sit in the corner with me has kind of went on a tangent, but just always remember people are watching you. So the ones who discredited you, the ones who counted you out and like sneered their nose up at you or maybe rejected you, they see you, okay? They see you, sis, bro. I see you. We are seeing you. And honestly, like I say, it is just rewarding because I worked so hard on myself. I've been working so hard on myself and loving myself and validating myself and like letting the Lord validate me and not being so caught up about other people. And now that I'm here and like I'm shedding the weight and I'm finally glowing up, it just feels good to be like, I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, babe. But anywho's, I do want to tell you guys this serious story. And I know it usually I do fake it till you make it, and that's going to come back. But I wanted to tell this story because I feel like it was something important that I realized. And I just kind of want to encourage somebody who may be younger than me. Um, I do want to give a shout out real quick to, like I say, Great Things I Draw. I go there when I take a break from my podcast and I draw these little cool projects and things that come to my mind. So I think you should check it out. It is a really fun series. I even started like a Tina Belcher sticker board book where I write these little impromptu scenarios about these little stickers that I have because I started a sticker pack collection for Wednesday Wellness. It sounds exciting and intriguing, don't it? Well, you got to go check out the Great Things I Draw to see what it's about. So, this story, as always, we know I change names because the names are not important. The story is. And so, especially this story, it I was ashamed of this, so it took me a while to really admit what I'm about to tell you and to like sit in it. My mom was like, "Oh, I knew this, baby. You didn't. I knew this, but I didn't know. Like, I didn't know how deep it was. You'll see when I get there. But for this reason, I don't really want to release this person's name because, first of all, I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. It was a long time ago. We are older now, all right. But it's also one of those things too where like the names don't matter. Like I say, the situation matters because it can apply to anybody, and I just want to encourage you. So when I was in high school, I talked about glowing up, and I think I flexed so much about glowing up because honestly, y'all, I was rejected a lot in high school. I was kind of like looked down on, I what was a boyfriend? Trying to get a boyfriend was like non-existent. I I got people who wanted to be my first. I'm gonna just be blunt with you. A lot of people wanted the draws, but they did not want the bling bling. And of course I wasn't going for that, and my mom was not going for that. And I thank God looking back now, I didn't desire that for myself. But I mean, with that being said, I did not realize until much older, like this year, now that I've been. Because do you ever sometimes go back and you think about things in your life and like in your childhood and just situations that kind of stay with you? Well, first of all, girls, listen to me well, and even guys, from what I've noticed, and I have evidence, like I saw and I put two and two together. All of my friends were friends. So, like in high school, I had a lot of guy friends, every race. I had guy friends. That was, I mean, I liked hanging out with guys just as much as I liked hanging out with girls, but I sometimes the girls didn't really like me, but the guys didn't care because on one hand they were trying to smash and I just didn't even notice because in my mind we were just friends. Like they told me there was nothing there. They just wanted to be my friend. They just wanted to be friends, so we were friends. But I honestly I did. I had some cool friends who didn't try me. We're gonna get into that. So, I didn't really have like love interests. And I mean, I didn't think I was an ugly girl in high school. I thought I was pretty. I was thick, you know what I'm saying? I had a shape. But one of my exes convinced me that I was overweight. And so like you can't really you can't see it on there. But like so from right here under my tattoo up to pretty much right here, I have stretch marks. They're not dark, but you can see them if you're up close in some areas, especially like on this arm because well, none of my tan is leaving. You probably won't be able to see it much. But point is, I have stretch marks. I had stretch marks when I was younger. It was worse when I was younger. It was so bad to the point that he was like, I remember hearing him whisper, "We're gonna call him Aquaphora." So Aquaphora was like, "Man, you see Victavia, she got these stretch marks on her arms." And it traumatized me and triggered me so bad that I used to wear this. My mom gave me this yellow jacket, and it was honestly like a safety blanket. I would always wear it to school. I always had it on. Even in the summertime, I kept it on because Aquaphora made me really feel like I should just hide my arms. Like I shouldn't reveal them because they weren't pretty. Like they were gross. I was gross. And I hated that I cared so much what Aquaphor thought because Aquaphor was running games. And he was the type of person, if he couldn't have you, nobody could. And when you got tired of his games and you put your foot down with him, he was kind of a jerk to you. That's just how he was. And I mean, I can and I even say this because Aquaphora has been one of the people who has been watching me and popped back up in my DMs and I was like, "You're lying." Like after everything you put me through and said about me. This is your move. Anywho, this is not about Aquaphora today. So I had this teacher in school. His name was I'm gonna have to give you a very good creative name. You know what? We're gonna name him Pluto. I had a teacher named Pluto in high school. We're gonna call him Pluto because, baby, your hold on me now is so small, it's not even a planet anymore. I don't know. I just wanted to say something like deep and meaningful. Pluto. I have a sticker over here that one of my students gave me from children's ministry, and it's a planet. And so why not? Pluto. So I had a teacher named Pluto in high school. I'm not gonna even say what year it was because I don't ever really know who's watching, and I just don't want people to really put the dots together because I'm pretty sure I feel like some people know about some things that I'm about to say. And like I said, I don't want to answer to nobody. But so Pluto at the time was like freshly out of college. And I was 16, 17, feeling myself. Well, 15, 16. I was a young thing. Um Point being, this Pluto professor, this Pluto teacher, everybody kind of like found him attractive. He was attractive. Yeah, I cannot lie to you there. White man. He was, he had the boots. Sometimes he wore the hat. Sometimes, he had on like a not the cowboy hat. I know, haha, because I'm from Texas, but like no, he had a hat and he was just very he was attractive, okay? And so like somewhere along me having his class, I suppose I caught his eye. And one of the first conversations I ever remember us having, we were in the library and I had my hair down. It was straight. Back then, those little bumps people used to wear, like right here, literally, this was the triangle bump, and like your hair was down. I was rocking one of those numbers one day. I thought I was sophisticated with my little bump. I had on makeup. It was a Friday. And I was asking him this question. Professor Teacher Pluto, I was asking him this question because I obviously didn't know the answer for this subject. I was like, I don't know what you want from me. But I ended up answering it right, like after he explained it to me. And he goes, I knew that there was more there to you. I knew that there was more to you behind all that beauty and make. No, I knew that there was brains there behind all that beauty and makeup. That is what he told me. It flustered me because he had in a roundabout way called me beautiful and smart, and he was smiling in my so sorry, but he was in my stuff smiling at me. So after that, it kind of was just like a free fall. And I remember one time I was walking up the stairs, I was late to school, and he was coming up the stairs behind me, and he was so close on me, I could feel his body heat. And like, I was young, I was a virgin, my hormones were like raging, and I was just convinced that I wanted to be this man's wife. Like I wanted the kids. I was going to stay after school for some tutoring. Like the devilish thoughts were creeping in, okay? And I remember at the time I had friends who I tried to confide into and ask them about things or get advice from them. And I remember one of them who was supposed to be like my best friend at the time, she was basically like, he did that with me too, girl. He treat us all like that. Like he's just such a good teacher. Like he does the same thing with me, and he even did this with me, and that with me. And it was she kind of downplayed would not kind of she downplayed it and made me feel like I was tripping, like nothing was happening there, And so I always thought that maybe he was just being like a friendly teacher. You know what I'm saying? And like I was overreading the signs because I don't really know how to tell when people are flirting with me. I could be very oblivious. And then I've been told too that like I flirt with people and I didn't even know because I thought we was just having a conversation. Like I can space out like that. Now I'm old enough to know. Like I know. But sometimes I know. But the point is, then I was young and I didn't know about any of that. And listening to her and listening to them, I assumed that, like he couldn't have ever like looked at me or, thought about this and that. And so I remember one time, me and my mom we're at this game. I gotta choose it carefully. That's why I'm giggling, because I gotta cut out the story and choose pieces wisely. But we were at this game that he was coaching, and me and my mom was walking up the stands. Stomach, do you mind? We were walking up the stands, and I believe the team was going on the field. Anyways, in front of my dear mommy, he was like, hey, Victavia, I'm talking about just Teacher Pluto was in my space in front of my mom. And so when we sat down, my mom was like, "That man is fine and all, but you're not to go anywhere near him. You cannot be left alone with him. I bet not hear about you even being near him by yourself." She was not having it. Like, she was very adamant of like, "Okay, like, you think I'm playing? He could be your stepdad, but he cannot be my son-in-law. Like, this is not happening." And so at the time, I thought she was just playing. Like, that sounds so bad to say, but I thought she was just like, like, he fine, but he's just too old for you. But like, I didn't think too much about it. I couldn't see it in any other way at the time. I just thought that, like, mama, she just being funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a fine man or whatever. But so he left, right? And he came back. Okay, so before this happened, let me tell you about this part. One day in class, I remember this like it was yesterday. There was a problem that broke out. Where it came from, I don't know. Maybe he just had a bad day. But like, we were in rows and there was a section talking. He didn't say jack diddly crap to them. But my section and like my group of friends, he kept trying to get on to. And it made me mad because I was one of the loudest ones in the group whenever they said something. But he would always, Teacher Pluto would say things to like my friends, but not to me. So basically, we ended up getting into a shouting match that day. And I was like, it's not fair for you to like let your favorites talk, but you're trying to get on our section. And I didn't even realize, like, I was one of the favorites while I'm sitting here saying the nonsense I'm saying. So, anyways, he was basically like, sit down and shut it down before I send you to the office. And even when I was telling my best friend the story, I'm like, it's so wild to think that he did not send me to the office, because the way we were going back and forth with each other, it was heated. Like, I know people in the hallway had to have heard me yell at him. And I know that they heard him yell back at me, because he was not playing that day. He was very upset. And so there was just a lot of things that happened around him. Like, I remember sometimes we used to test, and like, he used to give me my test papers back. And I remember one time when he gave me my test papers back, he had like, this is way back in ancient days. I don't know if the new generation knows about this, but he had like this black phone case cover that was clipped into the front of his sweats. So like the sweats were falling and I could like see his boxers. And I was sitting at my desk and he was literally faced at me, handing me my paper, and he was like, "Here you go." And I mean, young me did look. I'm not gonna even lie to you, okay? I looked, and like I said, I was just so caught up in this man, and I was so consumed with like wanting him and like these hormones that I was going through, and I actually just believed that we were supposed to be connected, and like part of me wanted it to happen. And I'm so glad, now looking back on all of it, that it didn't happen, because we're getting there. But so he left and he came back. Now when he came back, I was about to graduate. So you're gonna have to figure out yourself and who and what, where, why. But excuse me, he came back, and I was telling my best friend, I remember when he came back, he would do things like, if I'm sitting at a table right here, he talked to people right here, a group of girls. He'd be talking to them in their face, cheesing hard, but he would overlook me. And I remember one time there was this student who I thought was my friend. And this is why I say thought, because when we were out there waiting, I was waiting to, I, th- I don't know why, I think I was waiting for practice, or I was waiting to go practice a song or something like that. But I was at this waiting for the in this like bus area part outside under like this little shed. I don't know why you have to know the demographics about how it was set up, but it was like this little shed that was connected to the cafeteria, and we waited for the buses to come. Okay, and then you can walk like to your right or left depending on how you look at it to go to the cars or to like the music building y todo. So I was sitting out there, and there was this one kid that had tried to be a first to me as well, and he was like, "Oh, Coach Pluto, she says she like you. She says she wants you." And the coach was just like, "Yeah, whatever." And like he was kind of being a little cocky about it. And I was thinking to myself, "Wait a minute, okay? I wanted you, but I don't anymore." And like even that day, it kind of made me mad because he was kind of like blowing smoke, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like making it seem like I guess that he was too good for me. First of all, you're too old, dude, to even be acting like this. And two, why would you even? And so it bothered me. It bothered me a lot, and it it kind of made him repulsive to me. And like the last time I remember that we ever spoke or like had something to say to each other is when he was congratulating me about graduating. Now, I've been thinking here lately. So what brought this on me even remembering him? Because he was a repressed memory. I'm talking about repressed. Like I've talked about him in passing to my friend, but the first time I talked about him, it was kind of like a joking way, you know? But when I actually sat and thought about it, it honestly broke my heart. So I was thinking about like all these dudes from my past who I was friends with and how they basically pretty much friend zoned me. And I wanted to know like what was the problem? What did I do wrong? Like what didn't I have to offer you that other people had to offer you? And I remember, like I say, I remember so many, I guess it feels like missed opportunities that I had, you know, and like so many people that I was good friends with. And like I would tell my friend like, you know, because we kind of have we me and my best friend have lived a parallel life. Okay, she has literally experienced most of the things I've experienced, but in the form of a Hispanic lady. And so, you know, I went on a deep dive one day to look up these people from my past, because why we do things like that. But I see my teacher Pluto, and just all the thoughts came flushing back into my mind. And you know, it broke my heart because as sad as it is to admit it, I had developed a crush on him, you know. And I think, and I'm so glad that like I can talk about this now, because I cried for like a good, he really broke my heart. Like he had really did a number on me. You know, I was young. I was kind of a dumb, you know, like a dumb girl. Well, I think I was naive because I wasn't exposed to like dating culture and like a boyfriend and like when people are flirting with you or like when people are trying to get in your panties. Like I didn't do things like that, you know. And so like I said, I was very oblivious around guys. I could not pick up on danger. Danger could be literally right here in my face. And I'm looking all around it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally dancing with danger and I don't know. And you know, I think about so many situations that like could have went wrong for me because I did not know. You know, like I was unaware. And like I say, when he came back, I was so happy that he came back. But for him to disregard me and treat me like the other girl, you know, and I felt ashamed because I felt like I shouldn't have had those feelings for an older man, especially a teacher, you know, because it was something that we didn't, you were not supposed to do it. You were supposed to know better, you know. And like I said, I at the time I didn't even realize what it was, but now that I'm older, you know, I felt betrayed because I feel like you knew I was younger than you and you played with my feelings, you know. And like even if it was just a like, oh, it was a hurt thing, you were the adult and you didn't protect me. Like, you let me keep up with whatever it was we were doing back and forth. And I'm talking about, this was a year worth of stuff that me and this teacher bounced back and forth with. Like, I would see him at practices when I stayed with my cousin, and like, he'd make it known that he saw me see him, like shirtless and all, like, passing by me, walking in my face, like, you know what I'm saying? And I can't just say it was him, because naive little me, when I did feel like, when I knew I was flirting, I knew. A lot of times I did not know. But some Fridays I did dress up and want to be cute, you know what I'm saying, to impress people and stuff. And like, when I was going back and looking at these pictures from my past, I noticed that every guy I had an interest in, they were with this person, with this professor, with this teacher. And it baffled me on one hand to even think like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I thinking about it now, I see his personalities in all of the people that like I was interested in. And I think too, I was telling my best friend, on one hand, it really infuriated me because it made me think like, well, what did you tell them about me? Because I just feel like mouths had to be moving. Okay. Knowing him, knowing how they all talked and seemed like buddy buddy with each other and with the teachers, and knowing the history of like my high school, because that was not uncommon for teachers and students to be, and then it get all over the news. You just, anywho's, it was just shocking to me to see that, because I'm like, this makes sense why high school was so rough for me now, and honestly, I know, like, this is like, oh my god, like, I hope it is scandalous for you, for one, because hey, I was writing a whole fan fiction in my head about this man as a teenager. But I wanted to share this because I just wanted to encourage somebody, like, if people are rejecting you, let them. If they are pushing you away, if they're acting like you're not good enough, let them. You do not have to fit in. Don't force yourself to fit in. Don't force yourself to change or feel like you have to be something for somebody else, and I wanted to talk about this too, because as a young girl, I thought I knew so much. I thought I was so wise, and now I see that I wasn't, and as much as you would like to believe that people will not screw you over, people will screw you over, especially if it benefits them. And not everybody's going to protect you and your heart and your princess parts, because sometimes all they want is your princess parts. And if I would have gotten what I truly thought I wanted, I would not be happy now. On one hand, I joke with myself like the glow up was rough for y'all, but I think outside of that, what I've taken away from what I know now is that if I would have done anybody that I thought I wanted to do, everybody would have knew about it. And like, people are like, ain't nobody gonna know about it. Like, it stays between me and you. Guys talk like girls talk. Just how me and my best friends be telling. I'm pretty sure guys be doing the same thing, because it's human nature for you to tell your best friends things. Like, you're gonna want to confide in them and see if they know like the scoop about this or that. And like I said, I did not. A lot of things that click for me now at this age seriously did not click for me when I was younger. And I kept thinking to myself, when I found out everything that I did and pieced it together, I just kept thinking like, this makes so much sense to you here and now, but why didn't this make sense to you when you were younger? I have seen so many pictures of my guy friends from when we were younger with my other guy friends, and I didn't even know that they knew each other. Why? I don't know. It was a small town. We lived in a very small community, okay? A very small town. It was not like we just had so many people, but I guess because, racism was kind of a big thing in Jasper, I just assumed that like, people didn't really hang out like that. I don't know. I don't know what I assumed. I don't really know why I thought that they were not friends. But yes, a lot of my friends were acquaintances with each other, and it made me happy on one hand that I never put out for anybody, because nobody could ever be like, man, Sama over here. No, you're lying. Your mama lying. Everybody's lying. But too, it as sad as the rejection was, and as much as it hurt my feelings then, I mean, I on one hand, like, even though I was friend zoned and rejected, I did hear a lot. People thought I was a bitch. People thought that I was entitled, or that I had my head above like everybody else. And it wasn't that. It was just my mom. She raised me to be a lady. Like, you don't do certain things, and you don't go because everybody else goes. And like, just because they popping it for a real one, don't mean you gotta pop it for a real one. Like, you have to have standards. And my mama didn't play that. And I'm going to be the same way with my kids. You will not, Elizabeth. But, I was, honestly, I was very happy. I am very happy that, I got rejected. So I don't know if any of you are watching from my past, or if you ever will view this video. But if you did, thank you so much for turning me down and telling me no. And to Teacher Pluto, should you ever see this and like know that I'm talking about you, know that I'm happy that, nothing ever happened between us, because at the time I thought you were everything that I wanted. And it was just me looking, honestly, for God in all the wrong places, and I really had to thank God that he kept me from making some of the worst mistakes of my life. Because, like I say, as much as I think that those people from my past were my friends, I have to also realize a lot of them only wanted one thing from me. And if they would have gotten it, I probably would have been so much more heartbroken and so much more devastated than what I was, because they rejected me. So I'm very glad to be rejected. I am very glad to be on the other side of here. And it even makes me, I guess, just feel a little bit more prouder, because one of the people who tiptoed on my page to like something, and like I say, this is really okay. Let me tell you a story, and then I'll go back into it. So another person that, honestly, I had thought about this person for like some time, and I really wanted to know like why we never became more than friends, because I'm not going to say the full story, but he confided something in me. And at the time, I just thought he told me this because he was a friend. But now I see, as an older woman, that was bridging the line of more than just friendship. And my dumb butt, y'all, oh my. I secondhand embarrassment all over again just thinking about the situation, because, oh man. But anywho's, I had been wondering about him and like why we never was anything more. He was also friends with Teacher Pluto, but this particular person who was being more than a friend, I have not heard from this person since I graduated high school, and maybe even before that, because I think he ended up moving schools. So I graduated in 2014. It is 2023. I've heard nothing from this person since 2014. And they liked my video that I showed. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you want to explain to the class what is happening? And so that is why I tell you, people are always watching you. And honestly, I feel like that moment for me was a flex, because look at what you turned down. Like, you didn't think I'd come out to be like this, did you? I didn't either. We are learning this together. But it made me feel proud, because even after I left high school and I had that rough patch of finding myself and gaining all that weight, you have to see me on the other side. And I really do not say this to be conceited, because to have confidence, it's something I'm still working on. But baby girls, baby boys, if you take anything away from this episode, it is please protect yourself. Every part of yourself. I am still a virgin, strong at 27. And I know people make it seem like doing that is just great. peaches and gravy and everything else. But I've heard the real stories, and I'm like, no. But even outside of that, wait. Wait until you have your special person, because that's not just for anybody to have. I want my husband to feel special when I give this to him, giving him something he can feel. Yes, but really, I really want to share this story, and I did share that story with you because as much as it was shameful in the moment, I right now I don't feel no shame about it, because I was young. I was a teenager who, first of all, didn't have no clue what she was doing, but I wasn't the only guilty party. It wasn't like I was making these things up. Like, this was actually happening. And no matter what people say, when you grow an attraction to somebody, it is very hard, because me and somebody else was talking about this, and like, I won't say me and him was that deep, but when you are attracted to somebody and you start intermingling with them and mixing with them, you do grow attached to people. And I feel like people, they do know how to manipulate you when they know what you want and what you like. So please just be so careful when you get involved with people, because you may have the best intentions, and that person may too, but not everybody is gonna have the best intentions for you. And truly, people will tell you that they love you, and tell you that they want to be with you forever until they get what they really want, and then they might haul ass up out of there. So say thank you to the ones who have rejected you, to the ones who have left you, and above all, just let it be your choice. Let it be up to you to decide when you want to do it, how you want to do it, where you want to do it. I know that's very like, but it is your choice. And just be safe, please. Just be safe, and protect yourself, because you are a treasure. You are a gem, and what's between your legs, whether you're male or female, like, that's your gem too. That it's part of you, and like, you deserve to experience it with somebody who's going to treat you like the king or queen that you are, and who's going to love and see you and protect you. And so I know it's hard when you get rejected, and I know you may wonder, like, what was it that I lacked, and why was I not good enough for you? Let it happen. Let it happen, because I am very glad to be on the other side of all of this. And I am very glad that, like, people walked away from me. They all look like they ended up where they were supposed to be at, who they were supposed to be with. And I'm happy for all of them. And I am happy for myself too, because you have to see what you walked away from. And not only that, but you have to see that, like, I am more than you ever thought me to be. And like, in the years to come, I heard this earlier, this girl, she said, I want to be somebody that you have to convince people of that you know me. And that's kind of just where I want to be. I will be that bad chick. So please be encouraged and be inspired. Let them hurt your feelings. It's going to make you better on the other side. And forgive them. Because at one point, we're all young and trying to figure it out. And like, even then, like I said, I don't know how this story would have been any better, like, if we would have did it, or if he would have, like, gave me a ring. First of all, my mama would have been like, hell to the no, to the no, 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 police. She was not gonna let it happen. So regardless of anything, that was just a failed story. But it was just an example of, like, people, man, people would try you, and people will play with your emotions, and like, you will always think you know it all, and you'll always think you're ready for a situation. But when people get ready to finesse you, just take it easy. So, your 3 bullet points. God does keep his promises. I know you're like, wait a minute, what? God keeps his promises. I'm saying that because, like I say, I'm 27, like, how I'm looking now is what I've always daydreamed about. Like, I would want to look. And even like, this is not the full version, but even mentally, like, I'm doing stuff and seeing stuff that I always wanted to see. And like, God has did so much for me. I always said I wanted to sing on the praise team. I'm doing that at church now. Like, the Lord has given me so much in my life. He is faithful, and he is just, and he does keep his promises. 2, keep going. Okay, keep going. When I get through with my 10 weeks, of my seasons of this and the real Bible stories, I will be at a year of content. And it's so crazy to think that I've chased this for a year after thinking that it would never happen for me, and like some days are better than others, and some days I wonder, like, why am I even doing this for like two people to watch? Because the two people are my best friend and my other best friend. And I could have told y'all this via Face or Snapchat. But I truly believe it is to help people. And so, keep going. If the Lord put it on your heart to do, and if you truly believe in it and you're passionate about it, do it. Because how are you ever going to know what it's going to come out to if you don't put your best foot forward and try? And 3, if you are blessed to see your birthday, count it all as joy. Y'all, so many people are dying and like losing their lives, losing loved ones, losing just like the basic abilities to read or write. 27 is such a blessed age. And like, my elders used to always say, man, you better hope you're blessed to see 60 and 70. And with the way this world is going, you better feel blessed, because people are dying now, young and old, and it's just so crazy to see like how the world is shaping up. But I do not want to scare or alarm anybody. It's just count your blessings, man, and realize you are blessed. You are so blessed, and just be grateful for everything, for every lesson, even the hard ones that you have to learn. Be grateful, because it's gonna help you, and in the process, hopefully it'll help somebody else, and it'll help heal somebody else. So hopefully I've said something today that has helped you, or encouraged you in some kind of way. I have felt like the ugly duckling before, but I don't anymore, okay? Look at it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Please kiss me with the like button. You could comment below, talk to me about anything it is that you want to talk to me about. Please check out Rambles and Makeups and the Real Bible Stories. I'm so glad to be back with you. I'm so glad to be able to talk to you again and to share more stories. I promise Fake It Till You Make It is coming back, but I just really wanted to tell that story, especially with people going back to school and people going to college and stuff. Just be careful. You are such a valuable person, and females, we get degraded a lot, but we are a treasure, and you shouldn't let anybody make you think that you're not. Not to say that men are not a treasure as well, but I know what it is as a female to feel overlooked and to feel like you are being teased or picked with because somebody is looking better than you. 9 times out of 10, they don't look better than you, okay? The guy just know that they get from her what they can't get from you, so they treat you like crap. But it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. So let them crabs roll in that barrel, okay? Leave them crabs there, all right? But anyways, please don't go around calling people crabs. Please kiss me with the like. You can talk to me about anything in the comments. I will talk back to you. Please check out my page for more content. I got makeup looks if you like the makeup looks. I got drawing for you. Pretty soon we're gonna have gaming, and we got the social media content. But I do love you guys. Please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I post. And thank you always for just being here with me and for viewing, and for just even giving me the time of day to talk to you. So please remember always that the Lord does love and bless you. May He keep you. May He shine His face upon you. I love you, and I hope wherever you are, you have an incredible day or an amazing night. Goodbye, guys.